Welcome back to my channel. My name is Charlene Randall. If you have not subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe so you can see and hear everything that's going on this channel. I talk about financial news and stories and more. But today we're talking about the stimulus check, the $2,000 stimulus check that Trump has proposed over the weekend. So people are talking about this now and basically wondering, what this means, who will get the funds, and when will the funds come. So there has also been, some discussion about, how exactly will these funds come to Americans, or what is this now? So let's get into this video so we can hear some more about what the details are.
Over the weekend, President Trump posted on Truth Social that he wants to use proceeds from his sweeping tariffs to provide $2,000 payments to taxpayers. Fox 26 business reporter Tom Ziska looking at what the offer means and whether it's possible, Tom.
Rashi, I would advise skepticism. Remember, we're still waiting on the Supreme Court to even decide whether the president's emergency tariffs are constitutional. But set that aside for just a moment. Tariffs are putting money into federal coffers. Estimates pin revenues as high as $195 billion so far this year, and certainly a portion of that is being passed on to consumers in the form of higher prices. The president's message does not directly acknowledge that, but there is recognition from the administration that the economy is not particularly healthy for middle and low income households, as inflation remains at a sticky 3% right now. The Wall Street Journal editorial board says the president is trying to.
So inflation does remain at a 3% rate right now. So Americans are looking for something back because it just seems like every time, there's something going on, inflation, everything has went up, and you can't deny this, no matter what you are looking at, food, shelter, clothing, everything, has went up. So Trump is saying that because of the tariffs, there is extra money. And so he's going to give it to the people in the form of a stimulus check or dividend. So basically, he also says that tariffs are working and we are now the richest country. So and people who are not in favor of the tariffs, are not seeing the big picture. So, I mean, that could be but it just seems like, even though, we're paying more on everything, so for people who, are not, on board with it, it's probably because, of the higher prices and that things are so much higher now. So, but let's hear some more.
Dull the public's tariff pain with direct payments that he can take credit for. Their words. One financial expert, though, tells me a bigger benefit might come from addressing the nation's affordability problems with so many of our expenses.
When I can afford a mortgage payment and I can afford even HOA fees, but then I get hit with a homeowner's insurance bill that's almost the same size of my mortgage.
Right. So this is exactly my point, that if basically are paying more, and then you're trying to live comfortably, just paying your bills and doing regular things that you feel that are necessary, or that are definitely necessary, and then there's something else that comes up that you have to pay that is outstanding, thousands of dollars, and suddenly that $2,000 is actually needed, instead of giving as making it seem as if we're being given something for nothing. You're giving something because you've been paying out lots of money over this these last years.
That's a problem. So there's got to be ways to redirect that money so those bills happen to come down without giving money to put money in people's pockets directly. But we're not really talking about this affordability issue at all.
So on top of that, the cost of such a payment would be enormous. The nonpartisan Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget finds a $2,000 payment across the board will cost about $600 billion, well beyond what tariffs already provide. Additionally, such an infusion of money could certainly strain the economy. Stimulus money during the COVID era contributed to the damaging inflation that we have struggled with in recent years. Finally, before the president sends out any checks, Congress would have to approve it. And consensus suggests we should not hold our breath on that one. Watching Your Money, I'm Tom Ziska, Fox 26 News.
So basically, affordability is the issue. So everybody, wants to know when these checks are coming because they're actually needed. And, all you hear is people saying, what they can't afford. It's a nice gesture to give back these checks to American people, but everything has went up. And I mean, this is from, everything that you do, everything that you pay for has basically went up. You go to do anything, to pay for anything, and it's 2 or 3 times the amount that you expect to pay or that you used to pay. And it's like, what is going on? Why, is everything going up? The price, it's, basically is risen dramatically. So that's just where we are. So when we get an announcement about these particular stimulus checks, I will let you know the details that they have. But so far, he also said that these checks are for not for higher income individuals. So if they go by the same threshold as the stimulus checks from before, I believe that was 75,000 or 150,000 for 2 people, a couple, and basically it might fit the same standards, but if it does not, then I'm definitely going to have that information and let you know what's going on. But what do you think about these stimulus checks? Do you think they are needed, or do you think that this is a nice gesture? Join the conversation and let me know what you think about this. These checks are coming right after the shutdown. People were furious and upset. People were losing money or trying to keep the head above water during a shutdown. And now basically the stimulus checks are being proposed. So let me know what you think. Join the conversation, and I will see you in the next video.